To the Rob and Kale podcast. Rob Sanders.
Fuck you! Fuck you!
Kale Carolina Jackpot Hall.
And fuck you! Who's next?
The Rob and Kale podcast.
Let's go!
You know, the opener sometimes is just picked and fun, but that's kind of how I feel this evening. I'm a deflated individual when it comes to athletics this afternoon or this evening as Clemson baseball season ended as they fall to the Florida Gators in 13 innings today. Tough matchup there to watch as the Tigers fall. I want to welcome in my podcast co-host. I'm Rob Sanders, by the way. My podcast co-host is the best damn Gamecock YouTuber on the planet. He is Mr. Carolina Jackpot, Kale Hall. Kale, what's up, buddy?
Rob, what's going on tonight? Well, that was a good game today, wasn't it?
Well, if you're not a fan, it was a good game. If you're from the outside and you're just wanting to watch baseball, it was a good game.
It was a great game. Great game.
Had a little bit of everything in it. But, hey, in the end, Florida, I guess, made more plays, had a little more grit than Clemson had. And the Gators
supposed to have Clemson grit. What happened to the Clemson grit tonight?
That's for hoops, sir. That's only for hoops.
No, they were holding signs up that said Clemson grit at the baseball game today. I saw it with my own eyes. No cap. No. They did. Okay.
So. Well, that's a Brad Brownell thing. So I don't know if they want to steal from Brad Brownell. Fine. I thought it was a great game, but it was just gut-wrenching because if you're a fan, you're just like, my goodness, we keep coming back, and every time we come back, we finally get up on them. And then, Clemson gets the strikeout of their asshole pitcher that they had today, which that guy is a dickhead. I mean, flat out dickhead with a capital D, dickhead. I don't even know how to pronounce his name, and I won't pronounce his name because he doesn't need the publicity to the show. So we're just going to refer to him as Florida Dickhead, the guy who started for them today on the mound. His name is Florida Dickhead. Him and his dickhead coach trying to say that our reliever was greasing the ball. They're both dickheads.
He probably was. I mean, y'all have been known to cheat a little bit out there before. You know you have. You have.
I'm not even trying to hear that, sir.
Yeah, I'm not even trying to hear that. What's everybody over here in the comment section trying to defend Clemson's manager getting thrown out and everything else? No, fuck all that. Fuck all that, and fuck y'all who are trying to sit here and suck their damn taint. That motherfucker got exactly what he damn deserved. He ran his fucking mouth about my team, and karma comes back to bite you in the ass, bitch. You got tossed from the damn game because you're acting like a fucking fuckwad late in the extra innings, and I took that dusty old fart Jack Leggett who shouldn't even be on the damn dugout with you. Should be fucking gone, fired where he's at. You decided to bring him and dust him up and prop him up like some kind of good luck charm, and they tossed his ass too. Bye.
All right. Well, first of all,
try better next time.
I agree with Jackpot that Coach Baddock should have been ejected.
Try hard next time.
He ran his mouth too much. But as far as talking shit to your team, shut the fuck up. You don't have anybody that wants to coach your goddamn team.
He can go. No, they're having a tough time discerning between all the candidates. Bullshit. Is what the problem is.
That's bullshit. You're going to end up with
two College World Series trophies, beautiful facilities, unlimited SEC money. Yeah, just having a hell of a time filling that role, I'm sure.
And why haven't they announced the coach yet?
Because they're taking their time. They don't just jump on the first fucking Yankee they can jerk out of Michigan.
Well, they've done that before when they took Holbrook. I mean, that was kind of, hey, we're just pulling this guy and advancing this guy. And then they go and get Kingston, who was a fucking nobody from nowhere. I mean, why not keep up the trend, right?
It's called learning from your mistakes.
Oh, well. Either way, yeah, he should have been ejected. And, I don't know what the hell Jack Leggett's out there doing. What in the fuck is he doing? running out there on the field. You're retired, sir. I mean, he's technically part of the coaching staff, but on the other hand,
Looks sad. It looked like that time when who who was the coach for the who was it for the Yankees that got punched out that time?
oh yeah, Pedro Martinez punched him out. Yeah,
What's his name? Was it
I can't remember. Don Zimmerman.
Oh yeah, Don Zimmer. Yeah, I
Don Zimmer.
I
Yeah,
always think of him as managing the Cubs.
yeah.
I don't really associate him with the Yankees that much, but I knew he did get his ass beat that night by Pedro Martinez.
Billy wants to know, why did the Clemson coaches get tossed? There were several different things that were going on throughout the game. There's a lot of Clemson backlash on Twitter. I'm not putting out. I may have sent Jackpot a message or two between the two of us that I was pissed about the umpiring, but in the end, when the heat of the moment is up, it comes back down to this. They had the same umpires. There were some calls that went against them that probably should have went the other way as well. And the human element in baseball of having the officials there, even though they look like freaking idiots at some point today, I'm not going to sit here and blame the loss on them. The whole thing, Clemson shouldn't have been in this position to begin with. They should have won yesterday's game. So
That's it. That's just it. Yeah, you don't really have anything to whine about too much, because I mean, y'all gave up 7 runs in an inning yesterday. So
right, when you give up,
there was the series right there.
You give up a broken crooked letter in one inning. That generally, generally fucks you. So this thing of blaming the officials, I may get pissed during the game, but in the end, it's like, you know what? I doubt those officials were there, thinking I'm going to fuck Clemson over today. I do think that Dave Neal and the jerk off that was calling the games with him, though, had a hard on for the Florida Gators and wanted Clemson to lose so bad. It was like they were wanting Tim Tebow to come back from the grave
No,
and play
I don't
again.
think
That's
so.
kind of
They were complimentary of Clemson.
They did just enough to keep their jobs with the SEC network there. Fuck them both. I'll be salty towards them. So there were calls that in the first inning, the call where the kids running down the first base line, they run into each other. That's fine. But then the guy comes back and pushes the Clemson player as he's going to the dugout. But let's throw out the guy coming from third. Let's throw him out of the game. Whatever. That pitcher should have been ejected.
I heard one of them make some dumb comment there around centered toward the end there around all the ejections and all the craziness that's going on. It's like we really need someone to step in when something like this happens. We really need the NCAA to step in and make it mandatory for them to let us know what's going on. Well, the NCAA doesn't have any fucking power anymore. Thanks to Tennessee. They're trying to just abolish the whole organization. So NCAA is kind of a dodo bird at this point.
First of all, props to Tennessee for that, because the NCAA is a shithole. But if they're going to have their tournament, they should at least make sure that when a conference like the SEC did it with their stuff down in Hoover, where the umpires could let everybody know what was going on with whatever play that was called. Yeah, that why doesn't the NCAA do that with everyone? Why is it that they can have it in fucking buttfuck Alabama, and they can literally get the information out there, but you can't get it anywhere else? Well, I know people are going to be like, Clemson's a cow town. All right, fine. But the other regionals weren't. They didn't have it in Tallahassee. They didn't have it anywhere else. But hey, let's just let something that technology can do to make things better. Yeah, we're not going to do it as part of the whole NCAA thing, but let's make sure we get our $900 billion for the basketball tournament and still have money for spots saying how much we care about the fans or how much we care about the students.
Speaking of technology, I'm going to grab my phone or my other phone and use my Apple Maps to find out where buttfuck Alabama is so that I can make sure I stay clear.
It's right next. It's right next to Dingleberry, Alabama. You hang a left there. Hang a left once you reach Dingleberry. Go past the second.
I'm not surprised that you would know where it's at.
That's where I know where everything is.
Yeah, I don't know. Megan's pissy over there in the comment section. His panties are in a wad because Florida won. Well, hey, look at it this way, buddy. If your team wins tomorrow and goes to the College World Series, then you got a chance to put them out. So hey.
Well, first of all,
look at it from that perspective.
Let's make sure that we put this out there. First of all, he's pissed because he saw what was going on with the Florida stuff today and how Florida seems to get every call known to man. Schultz says he doesn't understand why Jackpot called him out for blocking Jay Shipes. Jackpot didn't call you out. Well, once the show ended last week, he said, I'm going to block Jay Shipes. I hit in the comment section, blocking means bitch. And he thought it was you because it came from the Carolina Jackpot handle there. But it was me that typed it. Don't block people. You're telling me whatever the hell it is Jay Shipes says to you, that it's going to get you to a point where I'm going to block him. I'm going to block him. You're not going to last through football season, sir. This is fucking June. Can you imagine when shit gets ripe in here in the second week of September when the Gamecocks have 2 losses at least and Jackpot's already lost his mind? He's going to say stuff that's going to drive you insane. And you can't handle Jay Shipes in June?
Okay.
I'm just being honest with you, man. Come on.
Megan asked me, what about my team, Jackpot? Well, my team didn't make it, and consequently, the coach was fired. That's what kind of standards we have there. You don't make it, you're getting tossed. No questions asked.
He says, if y'all knew what Jay Shipes does to me, y'all would too. I don't know. What is Jay doing to you, man? Is he showing up at your house and bringing over ramen noodle? What's going on? I don't get it. There's nothing that anyone's going to say to get you to block somebody. Come on now.
Schultz says he's in my ass constantly. Ew.
Yeah, we don't need to know about that.
Well, I don't need to know what goes on behind closed doors when you let your hair hang down and he makes you glad that you're a man. Oh, no one knows what goes on behind closed doors. All right. Anyway.
All right. Tom, welcome to the program, sir.
Well, I tell you what, Jackpot puts out better country music than Jelly Roll and Florida Georgia Line. I can tell you that.
You don't like Jelly Roll? Oh, you don't like Jelly Roll?
No.
Why not?
He's not real country music.
So because he doesn't wear a cowboy hat, he's not really country music. I've met Jelly Roll, sir. Jelly Roll is more country than you are, sir. He can spell that.
I seriously doubt that.
I'm just telling you, I met the guy. Had lunch with him. He's a hell of a guy. What are you talking about here, man?
I just don't care for his music. But anyhow, I digress.
He probably doesn't care for you either.
But I don't really give a damn about all that. But anyhow, I mean, you calling Hoover, you just trying to stir the pot. I know what you do. I know what you do, Rob.
What are you talking about?
What now?
Jelly Roll is a big, huge, chunky white guy with like tattoos all over him.
I didn't know. I thought Jelly Roll might have been that dude that they filmed outside the playoff game and said, I don't give a piss about nothing but the Tide.
Oh, yeah. That's that guy that works for Theo Vaughn, and Roll Tide Willie. Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
And the old white guy that was with him with the gray-headed guy with the black T-shirt on, he looked like a damn serial killer. He's like, I don't give a piss about nothing but the Tide.
You know that Alabama plays South Carolina this year, and I think what would be awesome if we could get Jackpot and Roll Tide Willie to watch that game together and
God.
watch them talk smack to one another. I think that would be hilarious.
That would be hilarious for about 20 minutes, but then you are going to dumb down my co-host so bad that he won't be able to log on Sunday night for the Sunday night show. You'll be killing the show, sir.
Nah, I think Jackpot be able to log on to the show. Jackpot puts out a lot of good content, and I know Rob, you like to say stuff to get me riled up. I mean, and stuff like that. But
respectfully, everything that I've said here, I stand behind. If it's pissed you off, then I'm sorry.
No, they're talking about Jelly Roll can spell and all that stuff. Yeah, I mean,
you're right.
Okay, he can spell. Good for him.
Left to right.
Yeah, I know what you do, Rob. But yeah, no, seriously, what happened? Was there I didn't really see the Clemson Florida game. Was there a spot where the Clemson player put his hands on an umpire or something, or took a swing at an umpire?
He didn't take a swing at him. They said that his hand hit the umpire when he was coming in to grab his teammate that just got pushed by that Florida idiot. Either way, it was kind of stupid. He should now, if you read the rule book, he's supposed to leave the field and go to his dugout. But if I'm on the bench and you're not defending the players that your team out there, I mean, I kind of understand why he was doing it. But on the other hand, he did break the rules, so he should have been ejected. But they should have ejected the Florida player too, because he pushed the guy after. I mean, they were running for the guy hit the ball at the first base line. He runs and grabs it. They run into each other. That's a baseball play. But the second play where he pushed him, he should have been ejected for that. But we can't offend the top player that Florida has. Can't do that.
Yeah, and you're right about ESPN, man. They got what's the name? Dave Neal, or who was calling the game? You saying he was
Dave Neal?
Yeah, Dave Neal. He's
Florida Gator man. Him and Octavian probably hang out together. Wouldn't surprise
probably.
me.
But yeah, that speaking of the Florida Gators, does anybody ever knows what happens to that fellow Lance from Jasper, Tennessee?
I don't know.
Somebody.
Uncle Lou had kind of a spat one time on Lou's call-in show, and I never really heard much from it after that. That's been probably 5 years ago.
Yeah, somebody says it's been rumored that he passed on.
Will Eubanks says they said he got arrested.
Oh darn! I think he had a drug. Yeah, they say he had a drug problem or something. But yeah, I mean, he was always calling in and talking about Florida going undefeated and all that, and they just Florida. That's all they got right now is baseball because their football program's in the tank, and so that's about all they got down.
Respectfully, sir, their softball team's pretty good. We learned that Wednesday night. Their softball team.
Yeah, but I mean, that's I don't really care for women's sports that much.
Why is that?
I don't know. They just don't appeal to me. It's just, I mean, they just softball, baseball. Really, baseball and softball. Baseball to me is kind of boring to watch. To me, it's just slow, and the game is a little slow and all that. And
they've done a lot to speed it up.
Right.
With the pitch clock, I like that.
Right. It's just sometimes I sit down for me to watch a game. It just gets too boring, especially if there's not a lot of scoring. So I really don't get into baseball or softball or women's sports. I mean, a lot of times, women's basketball, it's usually played on Sunday, and I'm usually going to church with my family and all that. So,
why is college baseball so much more exciting than Major League Baseball at this point?
Yeah, I agree. I agree. College baseball is more exciting. I ain't watched a Major League Baseball game since I was a kid. I couldn't even tell you who's leading or what the Braves are doing.
I can't watch the Braves really because of the stupid TV. Just all this stupid TV bullshit, and I'm not paying for another streaming service just to watch that. So
see, when I was a kid, the Braves.
Sports South anymore doesn't have the Braves. You got to have this Bally TV and buy that whole app, and God knows how much that costs. So nah.
Didn't Bally go broke or file bankruptcy?
They need to so they can put the damn
They need
games
to.
back where they are so people can see them.
See, shows you how long ago I watched baseball. The last time I kept up with Major League Baseball, the Braves were on TBS. That's the last time I followed the Braves. So that'll
They
tell you
were
how.
on TBS, and then they switched to Fox Sports South. What was that
Sports
other
that
network called, Rob? There was something else.
It's Bally Sports, and then it was they were on Peachtree TV for a little bit.
Peachtree TV. That's right. Did that become Fox Sports South? I think.
I
right.
don't know. They, like Fox Sports had some of them, and Peachtree TV had some of them, and it was like they were splitting up certain games, and it was just
Old Chip
the good old,
Carey.
the good old days. It was just old
Don.
TBS and
Don Sutton.
watching
Yeah.
the days, and they were. I remember watching them when I was really young, and they were just fucking terrible.
Yeah.
Right.
So-
And then they got good in the mid-90s with Chipper Jones and
Hey,
Greg Maddox.
I want to
Dave
help you with
Justice,
something, Tom. I
Ron
know
Gant,
Ron Gant, Brian Jordan. I know you said
Andrew
you go to church
Jones.
on Sunday, and that's a good thing. But they also play women's games on Thursday night, so you can watch you some women's basketball
Right.
on Thursday night. So
Yeah, I keep up with it a little bit. I mean, I look online and see what Alabama did, or or something. I did used to get into women's basketball
you can just
back in the day.
you can just watch the Lady Tide go out there and play. Be good. For
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they do all right. They made it. I think they made a tournament, which is
Yeah.
our women's team. We did. We're no South Carolina. We're nowhere near South Carolina status. I want to get Jack Postal. What's your thoughts on Don Staley being in favor of letting men compete in women's basketball? These transgender men.
Hold on a second. Paul White, thank you for the super sticker. I appreciate that very much. Where's she in favor of men playing with
Well,
women?
I think they asked her a question during the championship game.
They asked her a question. Let's make sure that we put context, because context is important here.
Yes.
To go on one side or the other, but here is they asked her this question on April the 6th, right before her team played in the national championship game. She goes, I'm of the opinion that if you're a woman, you should play. If you consider yourself a woman and you want to play sports or vice versa, you should be able to play. Now, when they asked the Iowa coach the same question, Lisa Bluter, who is retired now, said, I understand it's a topic that people are interested in, but today my focus is on the game tomorrow, my players. It's an important game we have tomorrow, and that's what I want to be here to talk about. But I know it's an important issue for another time. So she politicked her way out of it. But
Right.
Dawn Staley is a proud Black lesbian woman, and she has to go back and be amongst the proud Black lesbian women. And if she doesn't answer that question the way that they feel, it's going to come back and bite her in the ass anyway.
Really? Yeah, she a lesbian? I didn't know that.
I believe so.
Oh, yeah, I didn't know she was.
If things ever fell through with the wife, I was going to try to hook up. But
well, here's the thing. It's a dumb question that Brock's got a great response. It's a dumb question. There is no correct answer. Okay.
Yes.
Here's what Dawn Staley did, though. She took her team and went out there and beat the holy fuck out of Caitlyn Clark and the Iowa Hawkeyes and won the national title and had an undefeated season. And you know what? No one gives a shit because she won. They've lost, 2 games in 3 years or some ridiculous number? She wins. And when you win like that, you can have whatever kind of opinion you want. Remember, Bear Bryant beat his wife, and he still won national titles, and no one gave a shit.
Bullshit. Yeah. Bullshit. There you go with that fake news bullshit, Rob.
Okay.
I mean, you're just fake news. You're just like the media Trump talks about. People, that's why people don't trust the media no more because everybody wants to come up with that Bear Bryant beat his wife bullshit.
Were there allegations that Bear Bryant beat his wife, sir?
I mean, there might have been. I mean, anybody can make allegations. I mean, people can make allegations about you.
Yeah.
I mean,
those things went away quickly when they were down there, and that Tuscaloosa police department was like, "Oh, Bear Bryant, what, she fuck up his eggs?" That's how that police report went. Come on.
yeah, okay, whatever. Anybody can make an accusation. There's probably accusations about you that ain't true. But I mean,
well, back in those days, the law wouldn't even get called on you for beating your wife anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, anybody can make accusations. I mean, but you got to prove beyond a reasonable doubt. I mean, there's always accusations out there. I mean, that's but I mean, I don't think that was true. There you go. I mean, there goes Rob again. Rob likes to try to say stuff to get me riled up. I didn't figure that out about Rob. I mean, then Megan feeds me.
No, sir.
What now?
I don't think he.
I don't wake up every day and try to think, how can I piss off Tom down there in Alabama? I don't do that.
I don't think he touched a hair on her head. Just like I don't think Coach Joe had anything to do with them old whores either.
Coach Joe. Coach Joe.
She's talking about Joe Morrison, who was literally fucking in the shower at the Gamecock football house. But okay, come on.
Yeah, Alabama, we had an issue with Mike Price, so we kind of got rid of him pretty quick.
His racquetball.
He liked his racquetball.
If Mike Price had won games, y'all would have kept him. Y'all would have been like, that's all bullshit.
Well, we didn't. He didn't have a chance to.
He never coached a game, did he?
No, he didn't. He did not coach a game. We hired Mike Shula, which is now on South Carolina staff, and Mike Shula make Shane Beamer look like a damn genius. I mean,
that's probably why he hired him. He said, "Let me hire this dumbass so I can take some of the heat off myself."
I mean, Shula was just awful. I mean, what frustrated me, why it take 4 years to fire him. I mean, it's just, God almighty, Shula was just awful. Just the offense play calling sucked.
Which one came first, Mike DuBose or Mike Shula?
Oh, DuBose came first. Actually, Mike DuBose came after Gene Stallings. He was there 97, 98, 99. Actually, 99 won the SEC title and beat Florida twice that year. And he got.
All right. Well, look, Tom, I appreciate you coming on. You're always.
Who was after him? Was it Coach Fran?
Yeah, it was Coach Fran. Fran stayed 2 years. He went 7-5 his first year, upset Auburn on the Plains 31-7. That was his big win. The following year, they went 10-3. They lost to Oklahoma, Georgia, and Auburn. And then he left in the middle of the night to go to Texas A&M, which the following year he went to Texas A&M. He got his ass beat by Oklahoma 77-0. But then Mike Price was hired after Francione, and then he coached the spring game, and then had that dang issue in Pensacola at the strip club where he used his University of Alabama credit card. That's what got him in trouble.
Oh my God!
That's what got him in trouble. He used had he used his personal credit card, he probably would have never got in trouble. But he used the.
Hey, Tom, do you love the channel, sir? Because
I love the.
He'll give us another $5 super chat if you'll swallow your dip live on camera right now.
I've never used tobacco products in my life. That's what that.
Sir.
I don't use alcohol or any tobacco products. Yeah, but I don't use tobacco products. I'm sorry. I mean, that's just somebody, he's from Alabama. He must do tobacco or he must screw his cousin. He probably lives in the trailer.
Nobody brought up anything about cousins, sir. He just thought you heard. That's all.
No, I understand. But, it's just, that's that old stereotype stuff, but Well, no, I ain't never did tobacco. I've always thought cigarettes and tobacco and alcohol was just a big waste of money. I thought that's just a ploy in lottery tickets. That's just a ploy to try to keep people in poverty.
Yeah. All right. Well, look, I've got a ton of folks on, man, and I want to make sure we get to everybody. But
Oh,
thank
yes,
you for
sir.
doing the show
Yes,
today.
sir.
Thank you.
Have a great night. All right. There you go. All right. Let's go with Ray. Ray, congratulations. Your team is in the College World Series.
You know, and I'm happy we're in, but I'm pissed that you guys let the Gators in. I was so upset about that.
It's not like Clemson woke up and said, "Hey, we're just going to let Florida in, so you Florida State fans." Yes.
Well, I know
That's
they
not
didn't
what
let them,
Coach
but
Badge said. Coach Badge is like, "Yeah, we're just going to go out there and lay down and let these idiots roll on over us in 2 games just so we could piss off the FSU fans."
Oh,
That's
once
not-
well, I
again,
tell you what,
maybe y'all.
he pissed me off.
Well, once again, maybe y'all can beat their ass and knock them out of
Oh
it,
yeah.
right?
Well, I'm not saying we will in the College World Series because we lost our top pitcher, but we beat them. I think every time we played them, or at least maybe only lost one time all year. I think we swept the whole series with Florida. Florida's got a ton of talent, but they did not live up to expectations until the last of the season. The very end of the year, SEC tournament, and then the regional and super regional, they really sucked all year. But they got hot at the right time, I suppose.
Yeah. I mean, look, they won. I hope whoever they play, they lose again. That's how I feel
Right.
about them.
I didn't catch it.
I don't like I don't like the way their coach acted today. I don't like their starting pitcher today, who's like they had like this whole love session going for him all day about, oh, he's the absolute best, and shut up. I don't like him either.
There is absolutely nothing in Gainesville but pricks and dickheads. You didn't know that?
Doesn't Peg and Megan live in Gainesville?
You did not know that? Anything that drives through Gainesville becomes a prick or a dickhead.
Well,
Just being quite honest.
Ric Flair definitely was one when he was down there at the pizza place a few weeks ago.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh shit!
I'm just telling you. Can you feel the love, Rob? I'm just telling you. But
I don't know. I mean, Peg and Megan may come on and defend his hometown here. We don't need that.
I have no interest in hearing anything from Octavian. That's one reason I was aggravated, because you know he's going to come on here and spew his stupid garbage about how great
Octavian
they are.
He doesn't know anything about the baseball team. He's probably never been to the baseball stadium.
Yeah, well, I'll be nice.
I mean, he's been to the Florida State one,
Rob, but you know. But anyway, Jackpot. The reason I called is I've listened to your Gamecock preview. I thought you did a really good job. I didn't agree with exactly everything you said, but you absolutely put some thought into that, and I really appreciate that.
Oh, you're welcome.
I mean, you did. The game I really disagreed with you on for sure was the LSU game, which that's the only one I kind of really disagreed with you on.
They don't have the players. They don't have the roster they had last year, and that's game 3. Not saying they're not going to find. Not saying they won't find the answers later in the season. That's game 3. It's on the road. Somebody we don't normally play. You know.
Right, but now that game is it in Columbia, or is it going to be in Baton Rouge?
It's in Columbia.
Okay, well that would give it a better shot. You know, in Baton Rouge,
it's a noon game though. I wish it was a night game, but it's a noon. It's an old nooner.
I watched Jackpot's video too, and I was going to talk to him about that. If you sat there and let's say you didn't know much about the upcoming season, okay? And by the way, you should share that video with all of your dumbass friends that don't really follow the sport year round. You should share that with them, because that'll give them some insight on who the Gamecocks are playing game by game. And he did put a lot of thought into it. I don't necessarily agree with him, but if you sat there and you closed your eyes for a second and you just listened to it, it sounded logical. It sounded like, hey, this could happen. It wasn't as far-fetched as, I don't know, Vanderbilt winning the SEC. I mean, it was very well thought out and very well put together. Jackpot did a great job on that. Share that video.
I agree 100%. You did a good job.
It needs how that thing doesn't have 10,000 views by now, I don't understand. Considering some of the bullshit that's put out there, that is, let's rub
YouTube doesn't like me.
Here's the thing. Okay.
You have people that put out prediction videos and that they don't even really go much into the stats of the team, and they don't offer a whole lot of insight on the opponents you're playing and why we think. They'll just give a prediction of this,
right,
of why. They won't tell you why they think you like. I theorize as to why South Carolina's going to lose to Kentucky. I feel like they're pretty even, but I feel like Kentucky has better wide receivers. I feel like the quarterback, being a senior, even though he hadn't had a lot of experience, I still think it gives them an advantage. And I think they have a huge advantage because they're returning 9 starters on defense, and plus the game is at home. It just don't stack up very well.
Well, the LSU's weakness on defense was their defensive backfield. I don't know if they were able to do well in the recruiting or the transfer portal.
But I mean, the LSU defense was the shits. I mean, they got a new defensive
coordinator. I agree, but I mean, their true weakness, then FSU exposed that in the first game of the year, was their corners. They just weren't good at all, and that's one of the main reasons we beat them as bad as we did. Just they just could not cover Keon Coleman. They just had no chance, you know. And then they're out there again. And of course, you know, you shouldn't be surprised. The one corner his name escapes me that LSU got. He was a transfer from Syracuse. Like, okay, really? Yeah. Because Syracuse, he sucked at Syracuse. What makes you think just because he puts the LSU uniform on, he's going to be any better? But it doesn't matter. That goes back to Brian.
Their linebacker Perkins is one of the better players in college football.
Yeah, absolutely, Jackpot. If you'll put him on the line of scrimmage and let him rush the passer, he's not a linebacker. That's what they did. They tried to use him as a spy against FSU, and he virtually had no stats when the man's best attributes getting after the quarterback. Now, how stupid is that? That's just, you put your people in the best position. I mean, you got to play to your strengths. And they didn't let the kid play to his strengths. But I was happy they didn't because it helped us. But anyway, that game, the LSU game, and then I was a little back and forth on the A&M game. And the reason I say that is I really think the coach from Duke is going to I'm not going to say he's going to turn them around, but they'll be more fundamentally sound, and they'll have a lot more discipline, and I don't think they'll do anything stupid. And I worry about South Carolina's quarterback. He's young. He's more of a dual threat runner. I don't know what kind of passer he is, where they could really expose LSU, but I don't know if he's ready to expose them yet because I think he's more of a runner. So that's kind of my job. You did a really good job on that, and I really appreciate it. But I'll let some other guys in. Have a good day, man.
Thank you, Ray. Have a good day, man. All right, Jackpot, we'll keep it rolling. Billy joins the show. What's up, man?
Is it my turn?
Yeah, Billy, go at it.
Yeah. That Clemson Florida game, that was awesome. That was a great game. I didn't see the part where Clemson's coach and Leggett got thrown out. What?
It was odd. If you didn't ask me, I could tell you. It was stupid shit. Oh, the kid hit the home run, and no, was it the home run? I think it's the kid hit the home run, and when he hit the home run,
a backflip or something.
No, he did something, and it pissed him off, and he threw the bat, and that ended up pissing people off. So,
well, I always thought the Willie Mays catch was the greatest catch of all time, but I seen the greatest one
today.
That was awesome. That was
Camarella did. He had a hell of a catch, but in the end, I mean, that'll be remembered. But in the end, you lost. So he take that back for
I felt guilty on Twitter when I posted. There was a picture of him sitting on the bench with his staring down between his legs, and I posted something that he was looking down there for his bus ticket home, and I felt kind of bad about it.
Did you see the move that Clemson's coach, what's his name, Bakich?
Bitch. Yeah.
Did you see the substitution he made today? Brought in a hitter. He brought in a hitter.
I didn't agree.
And,
Chuck
hold on.
0 hits.
And the crux of the game that hasn't batted all year. That's not the bad part. The bad part is the damn guy's a pitcher. He hadn't batted all year. And he brought him in. You know, if I was the actual designated hitter for Clemson, you know, the actual designated hitter, bye, I'm gone. You know, I thought maybe this guy had numbers or something, but they showed his stats and it was zeros. And then the announcers got this back. Well, he hasn't batted all year. So,
yeah, I got nothing for you on that. I don't know why he did that. It makes 0 sense.
I don't understand.
I don't know if it was a matchup thing and he was thinking, all right, we're going to, I was thinking, I mean, look, and
I thought he might have been Button or something at 6'5".
No, if I'm spitballing here, he's thinking, all right, they don't have any film on this guy, and it was a left-right matchup or whatever. Maybe they'll pull this pitcher, and I can get them to go back into their bullpen. I think that's probably what he was trying to do, but then old O'Sullivan over there is like, yeah, fuck it, throw to him. You know.
Brandon Kuhn will know how Billy Amick did it this year. Billy Amick, I think, was all SEC, and he's projected to go in the first round in the Major League draft. He did great this year. So right now it's 12-1 in the seventh. They've got 7 home runs so far in 5 innings. But
I mean,
hats off to Evansville.
Evansville
they played a great game yesterday.
Evansville ran out of pitching yesterday. Not to take away from what Tennessee's doing, but Evansville's probably they're just pulling guys from the stands to go out there and throw baseballs.
Right. But they held their own yesterday. That was and then Clemson brought in that pitcher who threw almost 60 pitches yesterday and brought him back in today, less than 12 hours. He couldn't have thrown, you know. I don't know. Yeah. But let's really discuss something. Caitlyn Hart not making the Olympic team.
Yep. So
we got any opinions on that?
My thing with that is that she missed the last set of Olympic trials because her team is playing in the national championship game. Right. So with that, she didn't have an opportunity to go out there and play with the women that are out there. Nobody on that team is under the age of 26. So this is a veteran heavy squad that they're sending out there. And I dare to ask you, who are you kicking off that team? I mean, if you want her now, she may end up on the team as an injury replacement. Brittany Griner is injured. She just came back from a broken toe. Chelsea Gray hasn't played all season. I don't know if the coach is going to take those 2 players over there or not. Yeah. So there may be 2 spots that open up on that team and she gets an opportunity to play. But you have a bunch of veterans. And when it comes down to it, we don't need the women's basketball team for our country looking like the men's basketball team. And we have to worry that they're going to go over there and get their ass handed to them by some Serbians or whoever the hell dominate. I think the Australians are the best for the women over there. So let's just send our absolute best women over there and get the damn gold medal because that's what's important.
Oh,
there's my opinion on that.
Yeah. She packed the house.
Have you seen the pictures circulating around Twitter of Griner at the pool with no shirt on, bare chested, walking around, and her chest is as flat as a damn pancake, and everyone's saying that they think she's a biological male.
I've always thought that, but that's just me.
Well, I got nothing for you on that.
I don't.
I mean, it looked like a teenage dude.
I feel you.
No shirt
Look,
on.
I think let me make sure that we put it out there. I think Clark is a great player, but when it comes down to it, you've got to. She didn't go to the trials. She didn't go to the trials. Right.
That's true.
I mean, and she'd be the youngest player on the team by like 5 years. So it's like, even if let's say that she makes the team as an injured replacement, she's not going to see the floor.
Yeah.
Because Diana Taurasi's better than she is. I hate to break that to you guys. Yes.
Not the point.
As far as the international game, yes, sir.
Oh,
Absolutely.
Well, they have
Now,
the
she may be-
stats
Clark
up
may
side
be a
by
better
side,
shooter.
and Caitlyn Clark leads in more categories than Diana Rossi.
Well, I'd love to look at her Olympic numbers, but she doesn't have any. The Olympic
She
game is a
can't
different.
she can't because she would have been like 18 the last time they were played.
Okay, I'm all about Team USA, sir. I want to win the gold medal.
there you go.
Give me Diana
Look,
Taurasi, the damn point guard. She'll get her shot in 4 years. She'll be on the team in 4 years from now.
So is
Well,
this wide receiver?
I ain't hot about it. It doesn't. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm
Is this wide receiver for South Carolina? Is he through now? I mean, he didn't qualify in the NCAAs. Seen Gamecock Chuck put out there and he now thinks he's going to qualify for the Olympics. Well, if you didn't win anything in the NCAAs, how do you think you're going to qualify in the Olympics? He didn't.
Are you talking about the young man trying to make the Olympic team?
Yeah, the wide receiver for South Carolina. Yeah,
Harbor. Yeah,
he got and he still think he better get Beamer's playbook and start reading it and concentrate on why he's there at South Carolina.
Bless your heart.
I mean, I'm just saying, if he's not going to win anything in the NCAAs, what makes you think he's going to do anything at the Olympic trials?
He won't. That's what Shane said. He's on the jugs machine every morning at 5:00. He's catching balls and he's doing what he needs to be doing.
You're right, Gamecock Chuck. You said he was going to try out, and my question was, why would he want to try out? He didn't win anything at the NCAAs.
Well, because he was told by coaches that he would have an opportunity to make the Olympic team, because I think during the time of the NCAAs, maybe he was a little bit over the weight that he wanted to be. Maybe he was too bulked up for football. Maybe that's the back end of it. Gamecock Chuck may know more than that, but I think if coaches tell you, hey, you have a shot to make the Olympic team, and they invite you to the Olympic trials, you fucking go.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the way that it is,
What Todd Gwynn wants me to worry about my own team. I think we talked everybody on here. I agree with Jackpot's video today. I still got 6-6. I might differ on a couple of the games though, but they're still 6-6. Anyway, let me get off here. Don't want to make anybody later. Good night.
All right, there you go. There's Billy. All right, Rob has an SEC bias. What's up, man?
Good evening, gentlemen. How y'all doing?
Good evening, that.
Okay, I'm getting freaking salted over here, man. Can't handle it. Well, just to address a little bit of what Billy's saying, I mean, if that's the case, why the hell did Joe Milton even finish his football season? Dude can't hit the broadside of a barn, but he has NFL dreams. Like, why even play the rest of your season if you're Joe Milton? It's just not the best logic.
Well, why not? Why would Spencer Rattler play in that Clemson game where he literally got murdered?
Yeah.
Every single play. Why would why even send him out there?
It's not the best logic, especially with considering Harbor got invited to the Olympic tryouts. It's not like he's just like putting his name in the hat like a lottery system or something. You know what I mean? They're not open tryouts. So I think Harbor. Yeah. I doubt. I mean, I'm kind of with Billy. I do doubt he will make the team just because he's not an all-time runner. I mean, the guys he's going against, this is all they're doing 24/7. But if I'm with you, Rob. If you get an invite to try out Olympics, you go.
I think you should go if you get an invite to try out for the Olympic team. But I can also see where Billy's coming from, where it's like, look, asshole, you're here on a football scholarship, and we fucking need you this year. You could drag us from 6-6 to 8-4 if you have a big breakout season like Juice Wells had. You could. I mean, you could. If you're, I don't know. I'm not saying he's going to do that. I'm just saying that if it's an issue of, and with what Beamer said, he's doing, catching balls and all that, that's fine. But if it's, hey, you're having to lose a lot of weight and then regain it all back and all that, maybe that's part of it. But I can understand where Billy's coming from, where he's like, you're here on a football scholarship, sir, and we need you here. So you need to figure out what you want to do.
Well, I also another question. They were talking about the women's basketball Olympic team. Is Dawn still the coach up there?
No, Don's an advisor. The head coach for the women's team is somebody different. Hold on, I'll tell you who it is. I think it's.
Yeah, I heard y'all talking about Griner. I mean, broken toe or not, you got to take Brittany Griner. According to her, she could beat DeMarcus Cousins 1-on-1. I mean, how do you
lost her damn mind?
Y'all remember?
I'm sorry. No, look.
Crazy
Let me make sure that people understand this. DeMarcus Cousins should be in the NBA now. He can still go out and get you, 10 and 10. If she said that, and she had to be joking. DeMarcus Cousins would kill her.
Yeah.
Kill her. So stop it.
But yeah, I'm excited. I saw your video, Jackpot, and I'm gonna join the train. Just a elite video. I mean, is anybody on a hot streak on YouTube like Jackpot is right now? Every video.
I don't know that. I don't know.
I don't know. Every video I click on, dude, I gotta set my phone down because it's just heat. It's fire, Jackpot. I gotta stay away. I don't want to burn myself. It's just top tier content coming from Carolina Jackpot lately, and I'm
dangerous, hazardous.
I did want to say I saw you you had I want to talk about your prediction on the Clemson game a little bit because I'm all about my early predictions. I kind of differ for you, and maybe Rob, you can chime in on this if you'd like. I think the Clemson offense, if they don't see some immediate impact from those two pretty highly regarded wide receivers they have, I don't know where the production is going to come from. I mean, your best skill player as it stands right now would be, in my opinion, Jake Brenningstool. And I just if you don't see both of those guys,
I mean, Phil Moffitt's a hell of a player too.
Yeah, he for me, man.
I mean, Phil Moffitt's going to rush for probably 1,000 yards this year, but okay.
I understand that, but he's probably going to have 5 or 6 fumbles too.
Yeah. Cheryl Reed's the head basketball coach for the United States women this year.
I mean, what do you think about that, Rob? The way I see it, if you don't get 500-600 yards from both of those new wide receivers, I don't know where the production is going to come from on your offense. I mean, yeah, you can run it 25 times with Moffitt.
I think that you're correct. I think that they're putting too much pressure on these young guys that are coming in and expecting them to jump right in off the bat and be like
them to come in and be the next T. Higgins.
Well, and they kind of did that with Antonio Brown, as Jackpot calls him. They kind of did that with him his first year. They thought he was going to come in and
Antonio Williams, Tyler Brown is the other young man.
You said Antonio Brown in the video. I thought you were throwing shade at Antonio Williams.
No, I know. I realize, sometimes I do fuck up a little bit.
That's all right. When you're putting out content like that, you can forgive a slight mistake. But I do think y'all kind of did that with Antonio Williams. Y'all thought he was going to come in and solve a lot of your problems at wide receiver with Bo Collins not really giving a lot of production. But, I mean, it didn't work with him. I think at least one of those wide receivers y'all got has to be a stud. I'll give you that. I think one of them probably, what's that dude's name? TJ Moore, right?
Yeah.
Moore's the returning guy, but Wesco I think is the other guy. But I don't know. There are a lot of questions about the Clemson offense. The Clemson defense, I think, is going to be. I'll put this out there. That'll be the toughest defense that Georgia will face this year. Will be in Game 1 against Clemson. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. So
I'll give you that. I mean, you can't deny the Clemson D line's good. I'm a huge Barrett Carter
linebacker. Yeah, Barrett Carter's a great player. They're going to be fine.
Ole Miss's defense is actually pretty salty.
What'd you say?
You know what, sir? I'm not going to let you have your cake and eat it too. You think that you've been on this show and talking about you think you can beat Ole Miss as part of one of those games in October. If their defense is salty,
I didn't say that.
You said when I said you're not winning a game in October, you said,
"Oh, well, a loss in that," and I also predicted 3 losses in October in that video, motherfucker.
Yeah, tell them.
Good. And you agree with me. You agree with me. Then that's awesome. You agree with me that you're not winning a game in October for the second year in a row.
Right, because we don't play.
October is
We don't
terrible.
play but 3 games in October, and we
October is terrible for you guys. When we have Cocktober, it means 0
3
for
teams who are going to be at least ranked in the top 15.
Okay, Cocktober means nothing. Gotcha.
I mean, you got to add context into that.
November now.
Add some context. Come on now. Let's be fair. Let's be fair.
You didn't win a game in October last year. You didn't win a game in October this year. You're not going to win a game in October this year.
We won a bunch in November too.
October.
We are in November.
That's cool.
Come on.
Okay, so you guys, why don't you just forfeit those games and just have?
I don't think y'all won a game in October either. Y'all were the shits.
Yeah,
we won a game in October.
You won 4 straight to end the season up, but you lost a bunch in a row there too, buddy.
Legitimately, let me. If you
then we had the scintillating 17-12 victory over Wake Forest, which was absolute hot trash.
Wake would have skull drug you.
Oh yeah,
absolutely skull drug you. So don't talk bad about that.
Don't start with all that. They haven't been the same for years, man. Ever since Nate Wiggins, weren't they tearing his ass up for like 3 tutties? Didn't they?
They did.
Absolute fits, and he was a first rounder.
I had the ukulele singing ghosts.
Right? Didn't they bench Nate Wiggins? I'm pretty sure they benched Nate Wiggins.
That's why. Well, and Nate Wiggins ended up being like
he was good. I think I will stand by this. I think the only reason he got drafted so high was that damn 40. I mean, his coverage stats weren't all that, if we're being honest. But he is a speedster, and speed in the NFL kills. So
I mean, it's what the NFL coaches want. So I mean, what the fuck?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you can't argue with that. But yeah, I did want to say, I mean, just a great video. I kind of point on LSU. I didn't really think about how much they were going to be losing. Has that Grant Nessmeyer played like any major time for LSU yet?
He's played some mop-up duty, and I think he's covered for, like Jaden Daniels might have been bumped up a game or so, and he did some. He can sling it. I mean, he's a pretty good downfield passer, but the problem, he has no mobility. He's not a Jaden Daniels type at all. So.
Well, Rob,
so in the bowl game against Wisconsin, which bowl games don't matter on this show, we talked about that. He went 31 for 45, 395 yards, and 3 touchdowns. I'd say that's pretty good.
Ain't bad. That's not too shabby.
Not too
shabby. What was the final score of that game, too? They almost lost.
No, they won 35-31.
Okay. Yeah. And Wisconsin was 7-4 or 7-5. Finished up 7-6. They weren't good.
The old souvenir cup jackpot. The old $20 soda special, baby. I love that.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, hey, as always, we appreciate you, man. I got a couple more folks I want to get into before we get out of here.
One more thing.
Thank you.
The premier basketball program in the Southeast, and I'll go to my grave saying it. Quarter zip till I die. Beamer on top. Cade Klubnik's going to shit the bed all year. Phil Muffa's going to fumble the ball. Bryant Wesco's a fucking bust. TJ Moore sucks. Antonio Williams is a bum. Your kicker was literally in a cubicle before he started kicking for you. That is your starting kicker, Rob. He was in a cubicle just last year. All right, I'll leave y'all. Thank y'all, and good night.
Yes! Yes! Fuck you too!
All right, Chris.
Is Frosty Tips back this year, or is he's gone, right?
I think he's gone. He's gone.
That man can can't he, bro?
He went back to the city.
I mean, he only gets internet 1 hour a week, and he does it for this program. So
it's crazy, man. And then he's sitting there. Oh, Joe Milton, dude got drafted. Joe Milton, who Tennessee fans are glad to see gone and did not live up to expectation, would be South Carolina's second highest drafted quarterback ever. He went in the 6th round. That's 1 round behind Spencer, who's supposed to be was their savior, who did more at South Carolina than any other quarterback ever, and he went a round behind him.
Unfortunately, there wasn't a bias attached to Joe Milton because he wasn't on a TV show acting like an asshole when he was 16, which he probably did because everybody's an asshole when they're 16. This guy just happened to be on a TV show doing it. So
But Milton
that means
can
he's
throw
going
the
to be a
ball
bust.
70 yards. Come on, man. Milton can throw the ball 70
Bro,
yards.
it's no different. It's no different than Charlie Condon, who can't hit a fucking curveball and fields like a little leaguer is going to go in the top 5 picks because he hits a lot of home runs, but the dude can't play real pro baseball like a man because he can't catch. If a ball comes more than 80 miles an hour off the bat to him, he misses it every single time, and they're like, he might be number 1 pick.
But hold on now. I am not trying to defend him because I haven't watched enough of his games, but I do read stats, and the stats show the guy can fucking rake. What are you talking about, man?
A lot of dudes can rake. Christian Moore is going to get 0 awards this year and actually rake. Charlie Condon raked in the preseason. He if you look, there's a reason why Christian Moore was the Triple Crown winner in the SEC and Charlie Condon wasn't, because the moment the competition got a little bit tougher and people actually started having junk in their ball, like curveballs and good sliders, Charlie Condon would have golden sombrero games. And that's not what a number 1 overall draft pick should have. He shouldn't have multi-golden sombrero games.
His season high for hits this year was 5 against Tennessee. I mean, he raked in that game on March 30th. Had 5 hits against Tennessee.
Oh, he can hit a fastball. And then what do you do in Game 3 against Tennessee? What do you do in Game 3 against Tennessee? Against our worst pitcher.
He had 5 hits against Tennessee on March 30th. That was his season high on the year. I'm just asking. Tennessee's going to be in the College World Series, so obviously they're a pretty good team. And he got 5 hits in 1 game against them.
You're right, man. Jazz Chisholm, he usually has like 1 good game against the Braves, and they'll be in the playoffs this year. It must mean he's a All-American or All-Pro, right? Like he's great.
He had 2 doubles against Ole Miss. That was his high on the season. I guess Ole Miss is an SEC team.
Then why didn't he win the triple? Why didn't he have the Triple Crown? Where was he? Why was he disappearing in games? Why do you have golden sombrero games?
I'm trying to see where he had a golden sombrero game.
Game 3 against Tennessee, he went 0 for 4, dude. Hell, game 1 against NC State a day ago, he couldn't get shit.
So, I mean, you don't like Charlie Condon. Got it.
I just think he's overrated.
Okay.
I think Christian Moore's a better baseball player, and it'll show. When Charlie Condon can't hit the curve in Double-A, he'll never see Triple-A, much less the show. Hell, he goes to the Cape Cod League and disappears. Put a wooden bat in the dude's hand, he can't swing it. But
the best part is, and not to be combative with you, is that when it comes down to all of this, this isn't like some nonsense that will be drug around. We will find out, because his last
no doubt. It's like
time hitting with a metal bat will be in these next couple of games or whatever, and he's going to have to play with that wooden bat, and we'll see if he can hit or not.
It's like I said with Zach Edey. Hell, Zach Edey was a free throw merchant and stole awards from Dalton Connect, who could score from 3 levels of the court. But if you stand underneath, if they get rid of the 3-second violation for you and let you stand under the goal and get 1 billion rebounds and putbacks, then you're the best player in the country.
Are you still upset about that?
I'm just saying, bro. If you got an issue with Tennessee, man, it sucks, man, because Florida is in the College World Series. Florida, with their piece of shit head coach, is in the College World Series because people want to pity fuck schools like Florida.
Yeah, that's true.
Florida's coach, man, the fact that they were in that game sitting there sucking them, that man is the biggest POS. You know how he met his wife, right?
No. I mean, I don't know this story. Go ahead.
So he was helping a little league team. He was an assistant volunteer coach for a little league team. Started banging one of the kids' mom, who was still married. Dude went and murder-suicide both of the kids and burnt the house down. And then O'Sullivan went and married the woman, left his wife and married the woman after all that happened.
I'm not going to sit here and I don't know the whole story behind that. So, I mean, you may be right. I don't know. Either way, it's kind of funny.
It's Florida, dude. I don't see how Florida.
That happened, but it's funny that you brought it up like that. Like,
I
hey,
don't see how Florida has the pieces.
You know why? Because he met his wife in a strange way.
He probably learned that
causing your wife to lose her entire family.
He probably learned that.
It's a cute little meet cute, huh?
He probably learned that. He probably learned that debaucherous behavior at Clemson because he was an assistant there.
Shut up, Jackpot.
I just don't get how Florida gets all this like love from the national media. They've had Urban Meyer, who turned out to be a piece of shit. They had Aaron Hernandez, who is a massive piece of shit. Like this head coach, they're blowing him left and right. Everybody, if a South Carolina coach did what Billy did in the first 2 years, the entire national media would be like, this dude's the dumbest coach ever, But they're now like, I don't know, man. I mean, better watch out. Florida might get you.
Fair. Yeah, well, I'll give you the fact that Florida gets a lot of credit for a lot of bullshit, but they don't expect anything from South Carolina. Seriously. So it's not like they're going to be like,
I expect more from South Carolina than I do Florida. Florida's got the tougher schedule. Billy can't. At least I've seen Shane Beamer go on the road and win some games. Billy's been there 2 years, hasn't won a game outside the swamp over a 500 or better team.
Well, but to be fair, Florida doesn't really schedule non-conference games outside of the swamp. That doesn't really happen very often. So, I mean,
they had to go play a bowl game, and they almost got donutted in that game.
I don't know. I think he's a piece of shit head coach too. I don't like him either. Man, I remember the Gamecock fans that were sure as shit wanting him, though. Oh, we're going to have Billy Ball. Yeah, they're all like, thank God we didn't get that dickhead. Jackpot knows what I'm talking about.
It would bring a gimmick offense to
I could see Jackpot just screaming, fuck this guy after game 3 of the first season. He would have hated him from the start. It would have been great.
It would bring a gimmick offense to South Carolina, but I don't think that would hurt them too bad. But they need to go get Jamie Chadwell.
We would have 4 million viewers on this fucking channel if Napier would have came here, because it would have been so shitty. Jackpot would have been sacrificing chickens live during the damn show to try to break that hex. So, yeah, that guy's a turd bucket.
Florida might come for Shane Beamer whenever they have to fire old boy.
For what? What for what?
He's a better coach than what they got.
That doesn't say much. That's
I know.
Being the world's tallest midget. Who gives a shit?
I'm sorry that everybody got disappointed and Evansville blew it. We gave them they wanted one more game and Lindsey Nelson.
Look, we goof about it, but nobody thought Evansville was going to go in there and win that fucking series. They didn't have enough pitching.
Vanderbilt fans thought that.
Guys, well, Vanderbilt fans are dumb. You know that they can't even get their football scoreboards hanging from a damn crane at one end. They don't know anything about.
I'm excited. I'm excited for that new. That's going to be a lot of really good premium seats for opposing fans to probably get them on the cheap too. They're probably going to be like $40-$50 for a VIP seat.
Shit, if you paid more than $10 to go to a game at Vanderbilt, you're getting jacked. You might as well go to downtown Nashville.
I got 25 rows back on the 40-yard line. Thanksgiving weekend, I want to say 2 or 3 years ago. $45, dude. 15 rows back, 40-yard line. Could
I don't remember how much the ones were I got to the Gamecocks game, but it wasn't much. Maybe $30.
I bought 2 tickets and I spent more at damn Kid Rock's bar 3 hours after we won than I did buying tickets for the game. That's crazy to me.
All right, well, Chris, congratulations to your team as you're heading to Omaha, sir. You can be
2
our
more outs. Don't say nothing yet. We got 2 more outs.
You can. They're up by what? 14 runs or some shit.
11.
11 runs. All right, so we're going to make you our Tennessee correspondent because you can string sentences together, and you might actually know a little bit about it. So
Billy's a little less biased than me. You can make it Billy. Billy's got good diction, and
Billy's retired, man. Billy just comes on to poke fun of the nurses for being on late. That's all.
He's a lot better than this dude. I had to mute the Tennessee game. This dude calling the game. He's an old Auburn player, and they've mentioned Tennessee blowing it in 2022 about 1 billion times. I'm about ready to choke him out. His name's Greg Olson, but it ain't that Greg Olson.
They have to They have to sell some drama to get people to stay. They still got to pull a number on that front.
But
all right, Chris.
all
Hey,
right,
we got
y'all
to
have a
move
good
on,
night.
man, but I appreciate it. There you go. All right, our next guest. Welcome into the show. Hold on, he's got his own theme music. Welcome into the show, sir.
That sounds like a hit.
Yeah, it's like Blame It on the Rain. It just keeps on rolling, sir.
Stands the test of time, doesn't it, Rob?
It does stand the test of time.
Hey,
How are you, sir?
Real quick, raise your hand if you're surprised that Chris hangs out at a Kid Rock bar.
What? Come on now. We're making him an unpaid reporter for the show. We can't mock Chris too much.
Do you guys hear just the anger and frustration in his voice and everything that he says? Is it just me, or does everybody pick up on that?
He's like, Chris comes on and he it's like he's defending Tennessee, even if like we had like a run in. I don't know about
defending Tennessee even when they're getting complimented.
Yeah.
Right, like I said, Tennessee had a good team, and he's like, and I'm like, holy shit! I just said you had a good team, man. The fuck do you want me to do?
He is like the poster child for Napoleon syndrome. You ever known that short guy that just cannot ever be loud enough and furious enough?
Hey, now.
So are you implying that he's not? Oh shit! Go get Jackpot messed up.
Wait now, Jackpot. I was talking about overall height, not the button on the fur coat. Take it easy.
All right, thanks.
Anyway, yeah.
No,
we give Chris credit though. At least he's passionate.
He is, and he's actually knowledgeable too. I'm not beating up on Chris.
Well, he cherry picks the hell out of stats.
That's
being someone that does the same thing, I can appreciate that.
Yeah, and that's my point, is the cherry picking. Look, man, he will pick on a particular player, like Charlie Condon for Georgia. There are actually some areas where he does have some points, but look at the guy's overall stats. I mean, come on, man.
Yeah,
I've
got his stats right here, and
go ahead.
It's hold on, let's see here. For 2024, hold on, he hit 436. With, let's see here. Man, these stats suck from the website here. I don't know. He hit 436 on the season, and he's one of the most respected as far as nobody wants to throw to this guy. It's him and the guy from Florida nobody wants to throw to because they're scared they're going to hit it out.
Every time. Nobody hates Florida more than me, as you guys know, over the last couple hours texts that we were sending each other. But I'm not picking on Caglione because he's a really good player. I hate his ass. I hate his parents for having his ass, but he's a good player. I'm not going to pick apart his stats and say he can't hit a curveball or a slider, whatever it was. I mean, come on, get real. He's good.
In fairness, too, Condon has hit at the level that he's playing at now. He's been great. Now, will he make it to the majors? I don't know. But in college, the motherfucker can hit.
Yeah.
I mean, he's like one of the best hitters out there. So I don't know. 436 here, he can hit.
I do want to, before I forget, guys, I do want to touch on the last video that Jackpot made. If there's anybody out there who has not seen the video he put together, he did put a lot into it over Carolina's entire schedule. A lot of thought into it. It was very fair. So I heard one of the callers talking about the LSU pick. What was that about, Jackpot? I can't recall what you chose there.
He picked LSU to lose that game, and he talked about it being, it was the third game of the season, and they've got deficiencies on the defensive side of the ball, and they don't have the same players they had last year. So I mean, it made sense.
Yeah, I thought the whole thing was fair. JP, I thought you could have flipped Missouri and Kentucky, or just kind of flipped a coin there. Not that I would have died on any one of those hills, but would you agree that they're both sort of equal in whether it's a win or loss deal for you guys?
in terms of, I mean, I think South Carolina has a better chance of beating Kentucky than they do beating Missouri. I don't think they win either one of them, but I mean, I want to get the Missouri monkey off our back because I just can't stand that little fucking pipsqueak. But I mean, the fact is, I mean, they got a really good team, and I don't see us being able to beat them. But that's the popular choice for folks who think we're going to get that sixth win. It's got to come against Mizzou or so it's against Kentucky. But I kind of want a different route. I don't A&M. I'm not sold on he's going to totally do a 180 with this team in 1 year. And the quarterback they got is really good, but he's not been healthy most of the time he's been there. So odds are he ain't going to be healthy when he plays us. So I think that's going to play into that game.
Well, remind me where that Kentucky game is. Is it in South Carolina or at Kentucky?
No, it's in Kentucky.
Okay.
It's at Kroger Field where turn in your ticket and you get Kroger points at the end of the game.
Yeah. Okay. So, guys, I want to touch on
3:30 game on ABC, which is so strange to me.
I want to touch on what Billy Cole said, and I'm going to tread very, very lightly here because I respect both of you two. I don't want to get anybody in any trouble here when he was talking about Caitlyn Clark, but all this conversation about her, there's a elephant in the room that nobody wants to touch, and until we can have an honest conversation about that whole deal, all this stuff is BS, and we still can't have an honest conversation about what is actually going on there.
Are we talking about the fact that she's a straight white woman playing in a league that's full of black lesbian women? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, you could probably even drop the lesbian part of it, which is I hesitate to say that because I think Dawn Staley's Adam's apple is as big as her prostate, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I don't even want to touch it, but we're not allowed to even discuss things honestly as three white men. That's where we are right now.
Well, I thought that what I said was fair in that she's not going to make the Olympic team because she's too young and she didn't go to trials.
Well, look, I don't blame you for having,
that makes sense, right?
No, it does. It absolutely does. The issue that I have with that statement is if certain roles were reversed, that wouldn't fly. In other words, emotion would take over versus logic, and everything's out the window at that point. Do you guys follow me?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I'm glad that we don't have to deal with that because in the end, I just want us to win all the Olympic medals.
Well, I don't care either way because I don't follow women's sports. By the way,
don't you want to win all the Olympic medals though? Don't you want to
At this point, honestly, Rob, it is so politicized. My answer is no. I hate that I actually root against certain USA teams, but because they are so politicized and they're out there with a certain agenda, that no, I hope Yugoslavia or whoever beats the hell out of them. I hate to say that, but that's where we are now. I do want to say this. Did you guys see a picture pop up on your phones maybe of Tom that went against exactly what he said against women's sports? Maybe him and a certain softball player from Alabama. Anybody get that?
Tom kills me because he tries to. He really thinks that the stuff that I say, I'm trying to hurt his feelings. No, that is exactly how I feel. I do think Bear Bryant beat the shit out of his wife. I do think Bear Bryant was.
It's not like you just made up that fact.
No. Yeah. I mean, these are things that I believe. I'm not just saying that to poke fun at Tom. That's
but did you notice who was it? Was it Mike Price who went to this stripper place?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So did you notice when it was Bear Bryant, there were allegations, but Mike Price, that was a fact.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So why do you think that may be? Why?
I don't know. I mean, because
they had a credit card.
Actually won games. Mm-hmm. Well, Bear Bryant won games, so
they had a credit card. They had a credit card. They didn't have the belt that he beat his wife's ass with.
Yeah. Wins and losses and folklore have nothing to do with it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, well, you're right. I think one of our we're gonna do a trivia question here. I'm gonna post it on the Rob and Kale Facebook. We'll ask you today: would you rather go to a Kentucky game with Big Barney Ross, or go to an Alabama game with Mr. Bailey? Which one would you rather do?
Or go to a Tennessee game with Chris.
Or go to a Tennessee game with Chris? There's option 3.
Or go to a Florida game with Octavian.
Oh yeah, or go to a Florida game with Octavian. Those are the 4 choices. Which one are you gonna do?
First of all,
or go to a Georgia game with Lou.
Yeah. Well, that was a trap question, Jackpot. You know that. You know that. You know what you just did, Jackpot. Don't get me started.
No, we'll go with just the 4. We don't have to bring Uncle Lou into the mix.
Okay.
But just those 4. You go to Florida with Octavian.
I'm just
you go
trying
with
to think of
Bailey
different
to Bama,
people.
or you go with Chris to Tennessee, or you go with what was the other? Oh, with Big Barney Ross to Kentucky.
I will take Big Barney Ross all day. That guy has he has a brilliant mind. I have not been over to his channel, but I need to. By the way, he gave the best comment to your show the entire night with the Urban Meyer. If at first you don't succeed, buy her another drink comment. That was genius.
Please go subscribe to the Kentucky Blue Balls channel, because he does shit like the Kentucky wake up call is when Big Barney Ross walks out onto his porch and just starts shooting guns into the air and saying good morning. What the fuck is he doing?
Yep. You know why certain states are great? Because you can still do that in some states, and Kentucky is one of them. So God bless Big Barney Ross and Kentucky. I love them.
Well, I would pick Big Barney Ross as well, simply because I know that we're going. First of all, he'll make sure that we have good seats, and he's going to have the best bourbon, and we're going to eat like kings there too. I don't know about these other folks. Octavian may take us to Crystal Burger and get us a snack.
Yeah.
I don't know about the rest of them.
You and I both have a love affair with bourbon. So we'd be a good match for Big Barney Ross. Hey, I do want to, guys, before you get rid of me, I do want to mention something that Chris from Georgia, or Chris from Tennessee guy, mentioned with Sully and the whole thing that happened there, which was really controversial and just terrible. I think I mentioned this a long time ago. I actually went to high school and college with the guy who actually committed those horrible murders in Gainesville. And I will say this, that whole deal was not Sully's fault. That dude was off his rocker the entire time I knew him. He was a scary individual, and there was always something about him that was different. And I hope Chris is listening. As much as I can't stand Florida and can't stand Sully, he did have a relationship with that woman, but that guy was off his rocker his entire life. So just a weird coincidence that I knew him. He was good buddies with a lot of my friends growing up, and he was a different cat the entire time. So I hate Florida. I hate Sully, but I'm not pinning this on him. Let's just say that.
All right, man. It's weird to get a call from you in June. It's weird for you to be up this late, but as always, we appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, your sister's over, and we've been up for a while now, so you know how that goes.
Make sure you pay this time.
I did.
Fair.
In full.
Talk to you later, man.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Well, Eubanks, thank you for the super chat. It says, as Peyton used to say, Omaha, Omaha, third time in 4 years.
Chris joins us here before we get out of here, and then I'll read Ben's comment because it's full of stupidity. But Chris, what do you got for the show?
What's up, man? So this is like the third time I've been on here. Yay! Shout out to Jackpot. I really did like your video. The wins and loss. I watched all your videos. That's what I do when I'm sitting in the truck at work. Nothing to do. Let's sit here and wait on the call. I did disagree with the Kentucky. I think if Sellers can pull it out his ass, I think that could be potentially a win that leads to LSU upset. Personally, people are gonna hate. People might disagree. It is a away game, so it's gonna be a challenge for him.
especially being a starting quarterback. We'll see what he can do. Ole Miss game. If that is a night game, I would love to see what happens as far as the fans. Especially towards what happened with Wells.
Yeah.
I don't know what your thoughts on that are. I would love to see some of the poster signs, but
Well,
that to me
I
was
think the environment is going to be lit. I just think it may be. I mean, I think the opponent may just be a little bit too big for the moment.
Oh, I agree. The only thing I could say is if it's a night game, maybe a 40 chance we win, 60 they do. If it's a night game, it depends. But a lot of our games are 12 o'clock, 3:30 so far that I've seen. So those
Yeah.
night games at William Bryce is where it's at as
Even
far
the
as
even the,
upset.
the opener against Old Dominions at 5. What the fuck's up with that?
That should have been that could have been a noon game. Switch that with Kentucky. you know, um, as
Yeah,
far
I'm
as the
gonna
Clemson game, I think
start
if
a live
Clemson,
stream at 5 o'clock. It's weird.
yeah, that's crazy. As far as I say with Clemson, I think you gave them an L, if I'm not mistaken, or us an L.
Yeah.
Um, I think depending on the offense, because I didn't see much offensive strategy the last season, or our defense, we might have been better. But I think this year with defense, I think defense is going to lead most of the games starting to, I don't know, third or fourth, fifth game maybe. Defense will take charge.
Yeah.
Depending on who our wide receiver will be, number one speaking. I hope the two that do. Oh shit, it's raining here. Sorry guys. I I really hope the two that we just got from the transfer portal, one of them become the one. I really like to see the Florida State guy that just came. I forgot his name, but I'm really hyped to see what he can do.
Vandravius Jacobs.
Yeah, him. I'm excited to see what he can do, especially from Florida State. Not liking that he left. Um, and as far as so I had a question. What baseball coaches or head coaches are we looking at right now?
Well, we've heard rumors about Monty Lee's technically in charge right now. I'm not saying they're hiring Monty Lee, just saying
Yeah.
right now he's in charge, and he's going to get an interview. Maybe they're waiting on somebody else that's still playing. I don't know. But you haven't really heard much, Jackpot. I mean, other than we heard talk about maybe it's the ECU coach, which they could have already had him. His seasons have been over. So
Yeah, I just
Yeah.
personally, I don't think he's going to leave, and the reason I say that is I think he's kind of living comfortably. If he comes over to South Carolina, I mean, if he has a bad season starting out, maybe a second bad season, you could be out of a job by third. Um,
that's to be fair. To be fair, Kingston was there 7 years and finished with a
yeah,
losing SEC record. They kept him around and gave him time. So this isn't an issue of South Carolina didn't give enough time to that guy. So I think
no,
that's
no,
I
he
think if they
definitely
brought
had
him
more
in
time.
and if they brought him in and they would let him try to recruit players to implement the kind of baseball that he wants to play, he would get at least 4 seasons in my opinion.
No,
So
yeah, I agree with you. I just Kingston had 7 years and didn't really have any good season other than what his first year there or second season there, and that wasn't really his players from what I heard. So it's
mhm.
like I just this year was too many between the pitchers not being able to pitch the game straight for more than 2 innings. You'd have a good batting session, then it was just too many flip flops. Nothing would be straight and narrow as far as baseball went. Um, But yeah, that's pretty much all I had to say, guys. Caroline Jackpot, keep it up. I really do like your videos.
Thank you.
Rob, I'm not a Clemson fan, so I'm sorry, man. It is what it
All right.
is.
All
Still
right.
watch this one.
Bringing back the rundown when we get closer to football season.
All
Fireball
right.
says, Jack Potter, you kind of sad y'all don't
Have a good night,
play
Chris.
us.
All right.
Are y'all kind of sad y'all don't play us too like we are, tell the truth? No, I don't want to face Nico. He just absolutely shred us up. So
we're gonna end the show with that jackpot. Holy shit. Anyway.
Hallelujah.
Oh wow, look at this. Hey, look, it's Tom. It's Tom with an Alabama softball player. Way to go, Tom. He likes softball. Very good, Tom. So there you go. Tom loves softball. Yeah. Someone just sent me that. Imagine that. In a minute, buddy. But yeah, there you go. Anyway, jackpot, you got anything else you want to go lead out with this tonight before we get out of here?
No, I absolutely don't. But more college preview videos coming up soon. Got another one that I worked on today that I'm gonna try to film tomorrow night when I get off work in the evening. I'm gonna try to do that one. So that'll be 2 of them on the list. So keep on giving me suggestions.
Well, I have some stuff. You said you were going to do the Citadel. I got some stuff on the Citadel that I might give you as prep. That way you can read it, sir.
Good. I can use all the research on the Citadel that I can get because, quite frankly, I haven't been able to come up with a whole lot other than last year's record and the schedule.
I know that you said you were going to do the Citadel, but yeah, that could be kind of cool.
Do the Citadel because somebody was a smart ass in the comment section and asked me to do the Citadel, and I know exactly why. So fuck it, I'm gonna do the Citadel. Don't give a shit.
Yeah, that's
probably
how
have 12 people watching.
I bet over under on the Citadel preview will be over 500. I'm gonna take over.
Over 500.
You'll get over 500 views on that program on the Citadel. I guarantee.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it will. Especially if I get up and dance naked in it, or something of that nature.
No, we're not doing that. All right. Well, anyway, thanks for checking out the show. We'll see you guys later on.
All right.